Was geht an, Freunde? Ryan Nordliga und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge von der Fata Morgana Requiem von Innocence. In der 14. Folge angelangt. Letztes Mal sehr geile Folge mit Morganier und wir haben jetzt 3 Jahre erreicht, seitdem Morgana hier ist. Ne, aber probably kommen jetzt die Bandits, wenn ich sie nicht richtig im Kopf habe, leider. Und hier tut die Donne. Mama, lade. Was schon mein Leben, Freunde, ja, wir sind bei der Jugend hier immer dabei. Wenn ihr so wisst, mittendrin schon dabei, was für Jugend. Let's go.
About time you showed up. Get in here and give us a hand, would ya?
I was engulfed in a scent of roasting meat as soon as I stepped through the back door of the brothel. It smelled like it had even been seasoned with herbs, kicking my appetite into high gear. Zum Glück haben wir das gegessen. For the common man, culinary herbs were delicious, expensive, and not something you could get your hands on easily. Ja, Freunde, ist hydrated, ne? And that went doubly so for us in the slums. Hello. This is much more elaborate than I was expecting. How did you even get all the supplies you needed?
It's mostly a mishmash of everyone's rainy day funds. Events like this are about the only way I can convince the girls to let loose. Everyone's also concerned about making sure they've always got plenty saved up, which ain't a bad thing in itself, but they're gonna end up stressing themselves straight to the grave.
I smirked. Maria's heart was always with the girls. Obviously, the party was still for Morgana, but parties were meant to be enjoyed by everyone involved, not only the star.
It would have been even better if we could have given all the girls tonight off and party till we dropped. But unfortunately, business isn't strong enough to afford that. And I'd rather not deal with a bunch of blue-balled buffoons bitching at me about it either. So all the girls who couldn't take off are getting an extra slice of meat to make up for it. You get on cutting duty. You're on cutting duty. And make sure to cut them exactly the same size. Don't want anyone blowing their top about not getting their fair share. The fate of the party is in your hands. Don't fuck this up.
I get the feeling I'll be the punching bag no matter how precisely I cut the meat. On a somewhat different note, I'm surprised you had herbs lying around.
Oh yeah, those are...
They were a gift from one of my wrecks. Hello, Jaron. What's up, Jackie? You're obnoxiously perky as ever I see. That's how you're gonna greet me, you big butt?
For a particular subset of our customer base, it's that relentless perk that keeps him perky.
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a compliment.
Some girls have to pretend to be spunky airheads to keep those guys coming back. But you're natural. You're impressive. That's impressive as hell.
It is. I've got the big boss's seal of approval. I don't think you quite get it, Jaron.
You know how Sharon used to work up in the city? Well, one of her old clients followed her when she moved down here. And he's the one who gave her the herbs. Not the cheaper bottom of the barrel stuff either. This is some primo shit. Nice haul, Sharon.
You're right. You don't get this kind of aroma from a low quality plant. It's strong enough. I almost wonder if people outside can smell it.
I bet we'll have at least a few customers drawn in thinking they were craving pussy only to find out they were really hungry.
Someone needs to get this woman a damn filter. I really hope Mox likes it. I know she used to hate even the sight of meat, but it seems like she's kinda gotten over that recently-ish. People do change over time, so maybe she'll be fine. Maybe she has some kind of traumatic meat-related past, and she's just now overcoming it. Yeah, good, I guess. Or something to that effect. Hey! Some help with these dishes would be really nice.
Bad!
Oh, pick me, I'll do it. Alright, Jackie, see you in a bit. Jacob. It sure didn't take long for her to make this place her home.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. What, do you not want her here or something? Because personally, I'm doing everything I can to make everyone here feel at home.
No, I never said that. I never said. Oops.
Why so serious? It was just a joke. I agree with you.
Spider-Man?
This Joker.
Oh.
Why so serious? I agree with you entirely. Girl like her doesn't belong in a whorehouse.
No, she doesn't. She belongs in the ground. Dead. A while back, I had to get a general look into some other line of work to take up singing instead of prostitution. On her days off, she still went to the pub and performed, always to great acclaim. And while it seemed she had seriously considered my proposition, a few days later she said, I think I'd rather stick around at the brothel for a while. You and Maria treat me like family. And I wanna be with my family for now, you know? If that's what she wants, that's her choice. I have no right to force what I think is best on her.
So, question.
Yeah.
Have you decided what you're going to give her?
I haven't the faintest idea what you're referring to.
Bullshit, I know. You know. I know, you know, I know.
Dios. Nervous. Oh. Why does she have to be so damn astute? Or is it just that obvious? I hadn't spoken about my feelings for Morgana with anyone since I'd realized I had them. Not even Maria, my closest friend. But she had a way of seeing right through me. And while she often poked fun at me about the age difference, she never actually mocked me, not seriously at least. Though she did avoid bringing it up while Sharon was around out of respect for her feelings. Pretty much all the other girls seemed to have picked up on it, so Jaren likely had as well. Then again, it was Jaren. So it was equally likely she hadn't an inkling. After one particularly extensive round of teasing, Maria had gone on to say,
In the end, all that really matters is that you're happy. Sure, I'll feel bad for Jaren, but ultimately me and you have been to hell and back together. If I have to pick one of you, it'll be you. And yeah, I know, cheesy as fuck, you don't have to tell me. But hey, there's still the chance Morgana will give you the most brutal rejection of all time. Hell, I'd call that one more likely than the alternative, ahaha.
that was her way of showing support.
So what do you get her? As your big sister, I'll be happy to check out the present before you get. Before you give it, make sure you don't make too big an ass out of yourself.
Again, I'm older than you, and again, we're not related. I bought a necklace as per your suggestion. Girls appreciate this sort of thing, don't they?
Most do. Me, I've got a taste for knives and other such pointy things.
Digga, ich fühle mich wie beim Déjà-vu, wenn diese Szenen sind, diese zum Beispiel haben wir schon mal gesehen, aber weil es halt jetzt so mit Visuals ist, ist es so ganz anders.
I doubt she has much interest in those though. Okay, gut vorgelesen. Excuse you.
Danke.
Who's the last guy you saw with tits like these? I'm pretty damn smoking if I do say so myself. You tell me this body don't light a fire in your loins?
Not even a spark. I've grown so accustomed to seeing you over the years, you don't even register in that part of my brain.
Is that how it works? You spend so much time with someone you go numb?
Would you rather I did find you arousing?
Hell no! You so much as lay a finger on me and I'll make sure you never get it up again.
Then don't bring up the subject. I'm going to choose to believe she means I won't get up on my feet again.
So? Today's the day, right? You give her the present and you finally tell her how you feel.
Excuse me, why would I? Ich kann auch sagen, ganz kurz, dass es nicht mit Jacobo-Story war, sondern als wir mit Maria geredet hatten und danach so Dead End war,
Ja.
dass es da war, ich weiß es
I
nicht.
don't know.
Why would I?
Don't be a wuss. It's about damn time you went up and told her. I think you've got a better chance than you think.
Do I need to remind you of how old she is?
12 as of today. Practically an adult.
Ja. Jetzt kommt die Line von ihr, ne?
I was knee deep in dick at that age.
Yeah. You're comparing her to you?
The longer you hold off saying something, the more difficult it becomes. Break a leg. Party's gonna be in the back, so there won't be any customers allowed to interfere.
Alright.
Anywho, I've got decorations to put up.
Declaration.
You get going, meat boy.
Would waiting until she turns 16 really be putting it off for too long? How would I even go about saying it, assuming I actually did? Even if your face still isn't healed in 4 years, I take you as my lifetime partner, Morgana? God, no, that's terrible. There has to be a better way to put it. So much for a nice, relaxing birthday party. Valentine's birthday party. Morgana arrived as the sun was beginning to set and our preparations neared completion. Myself, Maria, Jaren, and a handful of other girls who didn't have to work were gathered in the back room. Dishes stacked with food lined the floor, and our group sat in a circle around it, several different combinations going on at once.
I apologize for not being able to assist in any way. Apologize, it's your birthday. Sit your little bum down and let the world revolve around you for once. If you insist. Atta girl, hop on right down. Not in the freaking corner.
Hey Morgana. There's space next to me. It's a much better spot than over there in the corner. You have easy access to anything you'd like to eat. Though I suppose if you wanted, I could get your food for you.
I'll sit next to Maria.
Don't think I didn't hear that. Hi there, Mox. How's the drink? Your head spinning yet?
It most certainly is not.
Well, let's make it spin. Let's make the whole world spin. Whee!
Wie beim Festival.
Wie man ihre Hände hier sieht, ne?
Wine is only to be used for nourishment. It's not meant for base recreation. You shall be smitten down from above if...
It's fine, don't worry. Even God's taking the day off to get wasted out of his mind.
How dare you disrespect the Lord like that?
Eat, drink, drink, eat, drink.
Trank und Speis. Wait, stop, okay?
I'm in heaven, my stomach's in heaven. Dead.
She's sound asleep.
Stimmt, wahrscheinlich wurde sie auch gekillt dann, ne, Jaren?
Oh shit. Girls act like it's her birthday. We're celebrating here.
Aber weißt du, Maria hat ja gesagt, also nee, Jacob hat ja gesagt, Maria und noch 2 andere hatten überlebt oder so. Oder 3, ich weiß nicht ganz genau.
What do you say? Want me to give her a good whack upside the head? No, it's fine. Let her.
Ja, damit sie im Schlaf dann gekillt.
She looks so happy. I would almost feel bad waking her. If you say so. We're the one in charge today. So you and Sharon getting alright? Huh? It looks like you were trying to keep your distance a little while back. I don't get that impression from you anymore. But if there's any friction at all, don't hesitate to let me know.
Ich werde dich in Tor 8 wirklich einschwören.
I'm getting along fine with her now. If anything does come up, I will tell you. McKay. Mr. McKay von South Park, kennst du?
Ja, okay.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad to hear it. Well, Sharon, with Sharon, it's, well, what you see is what you get. Once you get past that, there's never a dull moment with her. Indeed. The evidence? I just know. You just... No. Although, it wasn't anything I did that cleared the air between us, but... Oh. Never mind.
And this asshole thinks because he's paying that means he can do whatever he feels like. And I'm having to tell him to back off and just, I can't believe some of these guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, I've got one too. The other guy, this guy came in totally shit-faced.
Wait, are you serious? Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? I'd have chased the pricks off if I went down.
It seems like any time you get more than a couple of these girls together, a conversation inevitably drifts back to work. Inevitably drifts back to work. Which of course is a subject Morgana's least keen on. She looks like she wants to run away.
I'm running away.
Guess I've got to step in. You guys think you could maybe change the subject?
Like we have anything else to talk about.
Making the birthday girl want to hide in a corner bit defeats our purpose, don't you think?
Oh no, don't mind me. I don't have anything I want to talk about.
At least eat something, then.
I've eaten plenty, thank you. I'm quite full.
Then how about the cookies? They're barely sweet and they're dry as rocks, and but they're edible.
Jacopo, you little bitch. Got some stones to shit-talk my cookies to my face.
Stop it, Maria! Stop throwing things at me!
That's such a good wolf.
For God's sakes, can you not show a modicum of decorum for just one day?
Was? Ein Modicum of Decorum.
Wahrscheinlich so eine, dass er jetzt so mal chill ist. So.
Das klingt so wie eine bisschen Mitgefühl oder so. Oder so eine Common Decency oder so.
Irgendwie sowas in der Art. Ein Mindestmaß an Anstand.
Oh, noch nie gehört. Okay.
Auch nicht.
Ja, aber es hat so irgendwas im Kontext. Oh yeah, you totally want to talk. You could try not being a massive dick for once in your life.
Name one thing I've done to warrant this kind of abuse.
You first. You're the one who started throwing accusations.
There it is, right on the schedule, you two little lovebirds. Fight, fight, fight.
What?
We are not lovebirds.
Bleach! I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, I don't care about die shit überdenkt
Yeah,
sich nicht
you are right about one thing though. This is Morgana's day, so let's change the subject. Like I said, I don't have anything to talk about. Sure you do. You just have to look a little harder. Not saying you have to reminisce for us. It can be anything. Let's see. Here's an idea. Are there any guys you got your eyes on? There is.
Sie hatte gesagt, God.
What? Seriously? Holy shit! Who is it? Tell me. Who's the lucky guy?
Ja, God, hat sie gesagt damals.
Gummies. Ah.
Don't give me that look. I don't need your sympathy.
If you're gonna dream big, right? Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Pining after the all-powerful, all-knowing God. I'm with you.
You bald-faced liar. Bald?
The grass may be a hell of a lot greener up there, but it's a bit far, don't you think? You're better off settling for the weeds down here.
She just imply I'm a weed?
Say the young man over...
Wait, stop right there. Don't say another word.
Oopsie, me my big mouth. Oops. I almost did your job for you.
God damn it, Maria. This is not good. Like hell, I'm going to let her spill it on a whim. I have to do something before she has another slip of the tongue. Morgana! What she was trying to say is that
I have to go.
What?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
Was ist das für ein Sound? Ja.
Ihr Lachen zurückhält, I guess.
Ja. My sides ain't gonna last much longer if you keep this up.
This is no laughing matter.
Oh, what the hell? Don't throw things at me.
You did it first.
Ich denke, er wirft so Cookies oder so.
Ja, ihre scheiß Cookies.
Ja, ja.
Oder Gabel.
Ja.
Messer. Damn it all.
Haha. No, that was a good laugh. Das war richtig fake von mir, so haha.
Ja.
No, that was a good laugh. God, you're such a dork. How hard is it to just say it?
It would have been easier if you hadn't cornered me like that.
You expect me to believe that?
Das hast du selbst damals auch gesagt.
Achso, haben die...
Weil das sind genau die gleichen Lines.
You expect me to believe you would have done it without a little nudge? Aber das haben wir noch nicht gesehen, oder?
Ja, das ist die Line davor. Hier. Ah, nee. Ja, hier. Danach nicht mehr irgendwie. Oder ich weiß nicht. Ah, whatever. Eventually. Die Line schon zum Beispiel.
Eventually I'm gonna cut it, now's the right time. And don't worry, me and the girls won't make fun of you too much for getting your rocks off to little girls.
That's not the reason I like her. Besides, I would wait at least 4 years before.
Doesn't mean you can't tell her now. I think it'll do her wonders, really. She's, well, you know,
Autistic.
so I think knowing someone cares about her will lighten the load a bit. I mean, obviously we care about her too. She's like family. But there are things some sisterly love just can't hold a candle to. Mushy romance may not be my cup of tea, but that doesn't mean even I don't think it'd be nice to have something special every once in a while. When she comes back, give her the necklace and tell her how you feel. And if she turns you down, we can all have a good laugh about it.
Und die Lines zum Beispiel sind genau gleich. Maria and a few other girls chuckled. My lips had twisted almost into a knot from sheer overwhelming discomfort. But at the same time I knew she had a point. I could say how I felt now just as easily as 4 years from now. I couldn't develop into anything for some time yet. It couldn't, sorry. No, but simply letting Morgana know that someone cared about her and her specifically could very well lighten some of the load she bore. As much as she had warmed up to us, she still very much kept herself walled off, and though she tried to pretend otherwise, she did still get rather gloomy whenever she passed by something reflective. But if I could convince her that her physical appearance had no bearing on my feelings, then maybe, just maybe, I could clear away some of the clouds hanging over her. Possibly even light the way to the day when I could at least see her smile. That was all the motivation I needed. I'll do it, I tell her. I guess weil, not only for myself, but for her as well. I guess weil es Morgana so Jaren gezeigt hatte, bei der Rundtour vor so ein paar Folgen, dass wenn diese Bandits kommen, wir in diesen Bunker gehen und dann dieser Bunker dann geradet wird.
Ja.
Oder irgendwie sowas in der Art. Oder vielleicht hat so deswegen Morgana dort überlebt. Ich weiß nicht mehr, wie die da rausgekommen ist. Ja. Also Jacopo, weiß ich, ist raus, hat gefightet, wurde erwischt und Maria hat ihn abgepickt. Und er ist ein paar Tage später aufgewacht und Morgana war weg. Und vorher war I know, man. I can do this. And now I'm making myself nervous as hell. Calm yourself, Jacopo. This is nothing. You infiltrated Lord's Manor for crying out loud. Telling a girl how you feel is inconsiderably less likely to kill you. Even a child could do it.
You look so tense, your nerves could snap at any moment.
I'm not. God damn it. Please hurry up, Morgana. Wie lange bist du noch kacken? I want to get this over with as soon as possible. Jetzt Bandits, ne? Die schreit.
Ja.
Yo. Was that,
Denkst du, Part 1 das Ende ist jetzt mit dem Raid?
Naja, nach dem Raid endet Part 1, also. Wir können maybe.
Das finishen.
Ja.
Sounded like a scream. Probably for Klein, maybe.
No, it didn't sound like that kind of scream. Something's wrong. I can feel it in my gut. Maria, I need you to take the girls down to the cellar. Now!
Alright. I'll send them down, but I'm coming with you to see what's up. It could just be a client causing a ruckus.
No, you go with your girls. I'll check it out. Now get moving.
Okay, I'm going. Wake up, Sharon. Come on.
Now! Following the first, there were several more screams intermingled with what sounded like men shouting from the guest room. Something very bad was happening out there. My sword is back at the armory. Damn it! Taking a brief detour to the kitchen to grab a knife, I then dashed through the corridor toward the source of the disturbance, shoving my way past a several layer thick makeshift curtain. Oh shit again. Ah, no! Help!
Stay back. I'm just a customer. I don't have anything. Oh!
What the hell was I seeing? Help! Why was this happening? Ja, wirklich, das haben wir nie erfahren, ne?
This is seriously all I got. My shit's worth more than most of this garbage.
Take the odds alive, you hear me? Ja, machen die nicht, hä? They probably sell for more than anything else we find. They were laying waste to the brothel. Untrained, unarmed, unclothed. And unclothed the girls and their clients alike were helpless against slaughter being rained down upon them. Bludgeoned? What? Ich hab keine Ahnung, was das
Ich
ist.
glaube, es ist so
Butchert.
zerstört oder
So gebutchert oder so.
das ist ja so Bludger von Harry Potter. Die, weißt du? Die. Wie heißen die auf Deutsch?
Erschlagen.
Ja.
Beat up, better, torture. Okay, mutilated. Massacred. A good dozen men, thieves by the looks of it, had swarmed the brothel utterly ravaging.
Hat Jacopo hier ein Schwert drin?
Er hat gerade gesagt, er hat nur ein Messer. Das ist nur bei der Armory.
Und wo ist Gratian?
I don't know, man. Blood splattered every which way, staining the colorful fabrics hanging over the walls. On the wall. Er kann jetzt nicht wirklich mit dem Handy schreiben, so komm mal rüber.
Ja, muss schnell eine Taube schicken.
Ja. The stench of blood, screams of agony, cries of fear, and hoots of mad glee all blended into one sickening blur. Gah! I nearly stepped into the chaos, but stopped myself at the last second. I was furious. Of course I was. I knew those girls, and this band of barbarians was slaughtering them before my very eyes. I wanted nothing more than to charge in and rescue all of them. But I also knew damn well that me shutting in there alone would accomplish nothing. God damn it! Why now? Why here? Why? And how did they get so many men in here? If there were any signs of organized movement, someone would have noticed. I would have heard about it. How did they manage to sneak past everyone we have on patrol? How is it even possible a bunch of damn bandits managed to organize a raid of this scale without anyone catching wind of it? God damn it! Hat Gratian irgendwas gemacht oder so? Oh, wieso? There's no saving anyone in the guest room. I need to find whoever else I can and get them out through the back. As soon as I had decided there was nothing I could do here, my next job was obviously to minimize any further loss of life. I knew, logically, it was the smart thing to do, but that knowledge didn't do anything to quell the anger roiling around inside me. Then another thought snapped to the front of my mind, rattling me further. Morgana! She had said she was going to the bathroom, which meant she hadn't come this way. Or so I dearly hoped. But hope wasn't enough to overcome the fear that she had. I searched frantically for any sign of her, more panicked than even I realized. I knew exactly what one of these brutes would do to Morgana if they happened to across her. A prostitute in decent health, they would merely take captive, but seeing Morgana's face, they would assume she had kind of disease, and they would kill her without a second thought. Morgana! Intending to take my search elsewhere, I set off, my shadow subtly darkening, but in too much of a rush to notice. Something seemed to crash into me from behind. The world flashed in and out of view. For a split second, the multicolored fabrics around me appeared in black and white. I barely held onto my consciousness. Is this black and white? Nah. A few seconds later, the pain set in. Ah! My gaze drifted downward to the curious protrusion in my stomach. The tip of a blade sticking out of my gut.
Oh.
Ja, das hatten wir gewusst, dass es in deinem Gut war. Aber wir wussten nicht, dass es so passiert ist. Blood streamed along the metal surface. What? I twisted my body, distinctly aware of every minuscule movement of the blade as it slid through the raw flesh back out.
The hole?
Out the hole it had entered. It was almost enough to make my legs buckle. When I finally managed to turn all the way around, there stood a large man, probably grinning. He kicked me backward, and then rammed his heel through the gash in my stomach. I let out an animistic howl. It was a pain unlike any I had ever experienced before. I felt as though I had been struck by lightning. The only thing I had room for in my mind was overwhelming agony. And before long it reached its breaking point. Damn it, ich muss scheißen. And the whole world went black.
Jacopo! Jacopo! Wake up, please! Open your eyes. Can't believe you're dying on me too.
Believe you that?
Ja.
I can't have.
Oh, sorry. Wieso habe ich believe gesagt? I can't have you dying on me too. I'm begging you. Open your eyes.
Ja, mach die Augen auf. Das ist Maria, I guess.
Jacopo!
Where am I? The back room of the brothel? I'm alive? Where is she?
Lie back down. Or you're trying to kill yourself. You hurt bad enough as it is.
Good. I've been bandaged up. They patched me up. There's still bright red. I guess the bleeding hasn't stopped. I'm cold.
I swear to God, I was sure I had lost you.
Maria, are you crying?
You got a problem with that? Asshole!
I'm sorry. How many years has it been since I last saw her cry? It was back when she was 12, I think. Besides us, there are 2 other girls here. No sign of Morgana or Jaren. Ja, okay, dann war es nicht Jaren, eine der beiden Girls. This can't be everyone who made it, can it? I have to see.
What did I just say? Lie your ass back down. You need to give it some time to heal before you move around much. Jacopo!
Ignoring Maria's pleas, I stumbled my way toward the guest room, leaning against the wall for support. I had evidently lost quite a bit of blood. I was freezing cold and constantly on the edge of vomiting. My body was heavy, like someone had strapped a boulder to my back, and my vision swirled, distorting with each step I took. Das erinnert mich sehr an Steins Gate, wo er aufwacht in der Zukunft. So am Arsch ist. Das auch visionary war. I knew it wasn't that long of a walk from the back of the front, but I felt like it would take me ages just to get down to this hall. Like I was on an endless march toward a vast empty abyss. Yo. I had braced myself. But what I felt when I stepped into that room was despair too deep for words. Sonic. The meager scraps of strength that had carried me this far dissipated, and I slowly slid down to my knees. The door hung open, a blood-soaked curtain flapping in the wind. The deep crimson was a stark contrast against the brightly colored fabric. The girls had dyed it themselves. I could still remember Maria first telling me about it however many years before, her eyes alight with pride. How, when you put a whole bunch of different colors together, it made the place seem almost otherworldly. And the patrons, who had been drawn in by its allure today, had not found themselves in the land of milk and honey, but instead been cast into a pit of death. Several corpses lay motionless around the room, their faces twisted in agony. The eyes vacant. Vacant.
Was denn?
Sagt man vacant oder vacant?
Ich weiß nicht.
What the hell? Why? How could this happen? I asked, stupefied, neither expecting an answer. Not trying to place the blame on anyone's shoulders. It was an empty, meaningless lamentation. Powerless as the man who had uttered it. All of us felt the same way. Hopeless, helpless, horrified. Not more than an hour ago we had been having a party, for God's sake. Fooling around like a bunch of idiots, the girls complaining about their clients' plates of food, specially made for her birthday. Her birthday? Where's Morgana?
I couldn't find her.
Why not?
Sorry, I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find her. I'm so sorry.
I wanted to tell her I wasn't blaming her, but I couldn't find the words. If anyone, it was myself I was disappointed in. How could I have failed to keep her safe? Why had I been unable to find her? Why was I so damn powerless? This was supposed to be a good day for her. I had wanted to make Morgana's 12th birthday into a special occasion, something truly memorable, to celebrate the bright future ahead of us, of her. And I had failed in the worst way imaginable. What was supposed to be a celebration of life had ended in a pile of corpses, most of the surviving girls taken captive, and the brothel in shambles. And Morgana, who it was all supposed to be for, was most likely dead as well. Aber ganz kurz. Ich sag ehrlich, es könnte wirklich sein, dass es fucking Gratian war, der große Mann, der ihn angesmoked hat, weil er war so pre-knocked, haben wir nicht gesehen. Und warum würde jemand ihn am Leben lassen? Weil er war ja durchgestochen und hat hier reingetreten. Warum sollte man ihn am Leben lassen? Das hat keinen Grund.
Dass Gratian dabei war.
Ja, das Gratian, das war oder so. Oder Yukimasa oder so. Ne, Yukimasa kann es nicht sein. Teilweise war Slave irgendwo.
Oh.
Weil er wollte ja den Lord stürzen, weißt du, das würde so einen Grund geben, seinen Anhänger, so dass sie alle den Lord noch mehr stürzen wollen, so, das ist seine Schuld oder so ein Shit. Was most likely that as well. She was dead. Morgana was dead. Before I had the chance to say anything. And most likely, the girl I loved was gone. All because I was weak. Because I hadn't been cautious enough. Because I was completely, utterly powerless. And now she was gone for good. Before I had managed to make her smile even once. I was going to show her the world. How full of myself was I. I hadn't done a single damned thing for her. Girl. Boah, geiler Soundtrack, muss ich mal sagen, Freunde. Physical strength was meaningless for what I had wanted to achieve. What good was being number 2 in our little band of peacekeepers if I couldn't even stand up to a pack of jam bandits? I didn't have any real power. I was worthless, helpless, weak. My sole job was to keep this place safe. And it was painfully clear now how unsuited to the task I was. My initial fears were right. It was only the 4 of us who had made it through the assault. Maria said that while they had made it to the cellar safely, they were soon discovered and most of the girls taken captive. Jaren included. Only she had quit, left the brothel, taken up singing at the pub. Singing at the pub. Then she could have been spared this. Spared having to be kidnapped for a 3rd time. But because she thought of us as family, because she cared about and wanted to be with us, she was taken away. If I had power, this all could have been prevented. Not physical strength or skill with a blade, but real, meaningful power. Political influence and port. If I weren't a peasant, no one would dare stand up to me. No petty thieves would ever consider raiding my property. I could have hired guards to watch over the brothel. The only reason the Lord, that reprehensible man, was still alive was because he had real power, enough to assure his own safety. If I had that kind of power, everyone would still be here, safe and sound. I could have made certain of that. Maria wouldn't be crying. Jaren would still be part of our family, and she, Morgana, would still be alive. She would still be by my side. That one simple thing could keep anything like this from happening again. In short order, Gradient burst into the whole brothel in it. Seeing the carnage, he wailed in grief, which quickly transformed into fury. I watched on, only really half paying attention as he raged. He marched over and said something or another, though I couldn't say what. After the fact, Maria told me that I had been in a stupor the whole time Gratian was there. He had apparently tried to cheer me up, though soon found himself frustrated and finally disappointed in me. It took 3 days for me to get back on my feet. There was no sign of Morgana's body anywhere in the ruins of the brothel, which meant there was a chance, however slight, she was still alive. I clutched tight to the tiny sliver of hope, searching desperately for any sign of her. Maybe she had realized something was wrong and gone into hiding. But no matter how many people I talked to, no one had seen anyone who matched her description. She was just gone, like a puff of smoke. Och det är soundtracket skådade grejer där. Which left two possibilities. Either she had been taken along with the other girls to be sold off, or she had been killed and her body disposed of somewhere out of sight. While the latter seemed significantly more likely, deep down I still yearned for even the slightest trace of her. Maria encouraged me to let go, to move on, though I knew her well enough to know it wasn't out of lack of compassion. The whole affair had visibly taken its toll on me. One day, about a week later, my wounds still healing, I made my way through the slums. Nestled away in an alleyway stood a nondescript little shack. I knocked on the door and a few moments later it slid barely half an inch open, just enough for the sole resident to peer out at me, suspicion clearly visible in her eyes. But once she realized it was me, warmth filled her gaze, and she waved for me to come inside, a gesture that somehow made it feel like I was being invited into another world entirely. Beyond the door stood a noble woman, who held herself with an elegance and grace unbefitting of the slums, but a darkness that felt right at home.
I heard about the attack on the brothel.
Ja, das ist diese Fake Mother.
And that you were hurt. I'm so glad to see you well.
You were concerned about my safety. The woman pulled back her hood, revealing her face. Though the age had clearly begun taking its toll on her, there was still a attractive beauty to her, a kind of beauty impossible to attain down here in the dregs of society. Her hair was a burnt brown, her skin dark, and her facial structure somewhat similar to mine. I remembered then that this was the first time I had seen her.
Yeah, but it's the open festival.
Yeah. Nee, aber oder? Though it was very recently, not the many years ago she would have me believe, yeah. We barely crossed paths on the day of the Midsummer Festival. Ja, da auch, aber davor auch.
Briefly.
Yeah. The woman I had bumped into, that was her.
Of course. Show me a mother who is not always concerned about her child's safety.
Digga, dieser Soundtrack, Alter. Auch so ein Piano und so geil. The woman's name was Ginevra. And she claimed to have been a maidservant for the previous lord. Ja, das wussten wir. It was unusual enough for someone of her stature to be living in a rundown shack in the slums, but her story got even stranger. She had supposedly had intimate relations with him. She had born his illegitimate son, and a month earlier she had come to me and said I was their child. Says the woman I'd never seen until a month ago.
Physical distance has no bearing on a mother's love. if you had gone to speak with the Lord and to reveal your lineage when I first came to see you, you would never have been in that kind of danger.
Ginevra spoke as though she knew exactly what had been going through my mind this past week. The very words that had dominated my thoughts as I looked out upon the wreckage. If only I had done as she said and asserted my nobility, then I would have had the power to prevent the attack on the brothel, to protect the people I loved. If what Ginevra said was true, the Barnier family once possessed more land than even the king. That land and the family was divided up between each of their sons. The Barniers were only a few generations removed from the current royal family, which was why they had controlled so much land in the first place. And that meant though it had diluted with each successive generation, there was still royal blood in the Barnier bloodline. And a child begotten by the previous lord was more than entitled to a place among the nobility. However, realistically speaking, even if I had lent my ear to her cajolery, it wouldn't have changed anything, or worse, I could very well no longer be in this world. I wasn't stupid. It's not a woman, she was just using me.
There's still time. Go to the Lord's manor, show him.
I'm not really your son, am I? Ginevra fell silent for a moment, observing me. I had no memories of my mother. Sure, it might be nice if she were to show back up someday, but it just wasn't likely. Her whole story was extremely contrived. The sun could decide to rise from the west one day, and there would still not be a drop of noble blood in my veins. Jetzt ist so das Ding, probably hat sie beim Festival gesehen, hat so gemerkt, so, yo, dieser Typ, also die hat ihn gebammt, sieht so echt ziemlich ähnlich aus wie mir, ich könnte diese Story machen. Und dann hat sie es vor einem Monat so überlegt, also 6 Monate lang hat sie die Story geguckt.
So aufgeschrieben,
ja.
Story geguckt.
Yeah, Digga. I knew perfectly well how filthy the blood in me was. Discussions would progress much smoother if you both know what the other wants out of this arrangement. Start by telling me who you really are. Were you actually a maidservant for the previous lord?
Yes, I was.
She gave a nod, then walked over to a grimy shelf and retrieved a ring that looked very much out of place. It was made of gold, engraved with an elaborate insignia. There wasn't a metal worker anywhere in the slums or the city proper at that who could craft a piece so intricate.
Look at this. It's the Barnier's family crest. The previous lord gave me the ring as a gift, and I've kept it ever since, even after our relationship was discovered and I was chased out. I didn't sell it, because I knew I was with child. They will have no choice but to acknowledge you as a legitimate heir if you show them this ring.
Why did you wait so long to come find me then?
I was afraid they might kill you if I brought you in as a baby.
Why were we separated?
Misfortune. One day bandits came and kidnapped you. Presumably they were hired by the Barnier estate because they didn't want your existence coming to light. I consider it a miracle you are still alive.
I can only imagine the stern look on my face as I listened to Ginevra speak. Part of me did indeed want to take everything she said as true. Wanted to believe I was someone important. Wanted to grab hold of the fantasy that I did have noble blood in me and never let go of it. And had I not come face to face with my own powerlessness a week earlier, perhaps I could have swallowed the delusion. Used it as a stepping stone for my dream to show Morgana the world. It would appear you've done your research. I don't have any other family, to the best of my knowledge, which does indeed make me a good candidate for you to step in and claim your stake on. If I were to guess, your child with the Lord has either passed away or never existed at all. It's probably true that you worked at the Barnier's manor, and it's probably true that you had relations with the former Lord. You were chased out and now you live in poverty. You want to go back to your former, more comfortable life, and while you're at it, take vengeance on the current Lord. Perhaps you simply want the entire noble class to suffer. Or perhaps the specifics of your motives are irrelevant, though. Being a woman, you have no means to accomplish that yourself. So you came up with the idea of using a fake son. If your child were still alive, he would be right about my age, wouldn't he? And we look similar enough for you to convincingly clear we're related. But the biggest reason you chose me is because I've made something of a name for myself. Because I was one of the people involved in the second revolt 3 years ago. The perfect choice to spearhead a revolution. Oh, dramatic, the man who set the Lord's slaves free was secretly his family. The people would eat it right up. So how far off am I?
You're sharp for a filthy peasant. You will seem I chose wisely.
I was right. She was a manipulative, conniving shister. But her insults didn't bother me in the slightest. Those words made so much more sense than any mad claim that I had royal blood in me, that I was some kind of hero. Following suit, I twisted my lips up into a smirk. I was a filthy peasant, and I was fine with that. All it meant was that I had to claw my way to the top. I'm in.
Sorry.
Ginevra and I then discussed the details of her scheme, after which she gave me the Banier's ring. I doubt anyone would have ever imagined it would end up in the grimy hands of a slum rat. Once our discussion was done, I headed straight to the pub where the rest of the gang liked to congregate.
Good, Jacopo. Should you really be on your feet so soon?
I'm fine, thanks.
I'm glad to hear it. And I'm so sorry about what happened at the brothel.
Is the gang here?
What? Yes, near the back.
Thank you.
Are you sure you're okay? Well, look what the cat dragged in. Was just talking about going to whip your sorry ass back into shape. You ain't still moping, are ya? I get it, kid. I do, it's bollocks. But you're a man. Instead of crying, you should be...
Gratian.
Yeah?
It's time we start ourselves a revolution.
Oh.
Are you just going to stare at me or actually say something? You're the ones always going on about revolution this, revolution that.
I think it's called being shocked to silence. You're serious about this, Jacopo?
Am I one to joke about this sort of thing?
No, you're not. You're sure as hell, aren't you? Well, it's about damn time if I do say so myself. I knew you'd come around eventually. I knew you wouldn't stay sulky forever. Things will get better once we rip that fucker's head off. Should cut down on the number of people turning to thievery, so we'll never have to deal with anything like what happened at the brothel again. Never again, you hear me?
Indeed.
What do you have in mind, Jacopo? Didn't you say we'd need help from a noble to have a chance? We can figure that out after we crush the Lord's skull. Yeah, I don't think that's the best plan. What's got into y'all? You're always going on about how you want to stage a revolution, and now that we're actually talking about it, you're pussing out? No one's pussing out, it's just...
We have a noble.
For real? Well, if you got it all worked out, why didn't you just say so? So who's our guy? Who's the noble who agreed to give us a hand?
The former Lord's illegitimate son.
His actual son? Really? That means he could legitimately inherit a lordship. Whoa. How the hell did you get in bed with the biggest fish in the city? If you're telling the truth, this is huge. That don't just give us a leg to stand on, that puts the damned law on our side. So how hard would it be to set up a meeting with the guy?
Looking at him like this.
So this ain't some measly uprising. If we're going through with this, I'd like to see a royal sponsor for myself.
You're looking at him.
Yeah. Say what?
I am the former Lord's son.
No way, not a chance. Seriously, kid, you need to find yourself a functioning sense of humor, cause that just ain't funny.
I'm telling the truth, and this ring proves it.
It's a nice ring and all, but how does it prove you're a Barnier? Where did you... how... This is the real deal. I was a slave at the Lord's Manor for a while. I've seen the family crest enough to recognize it.
As I said, I'm not the kind of person to joke about this sort of thing.
What? So wait, you really? Holy shit! I can't believe it! One of us is in action now!
Oh my god!
You actually did seem a little not like the rest of us, Jacopo. More uptight.
Sick im Arsch.
Pretty sure I said the same things when I first met ya. That you looked like some rich aristocrat kid. This is great, guys. We can actually do this. We can actually make this happen. Let's do it. Let's start revolution.
Mission?
Nah. It's enough. Just a surprise is all. Who would have freaking thought? You? A noble. It's madness.
I'm als Elderson vom Typen. Barnier.
How long have you known? And why didn't you tell me? I thought we were friends.
I only found out recently. I'm sorry for keeping it from you. It all happened very suddenly. I was waiting for the right time to say something.
No need to apologize, kid. You just put the wind back in our sails. Don't think I'm gonna start buttering you up just cause you're a bona fide sticking up in the ass type of now, though.
Of course not. The last thing I want to see is you licking my feet.
Ha ha ha. Alright, fellas. We got yourself a sweet blade. We got yourself a noble. So let's set the date and get the ball rolling. This ball rolling!
Alvin speech? Das ist so geil.
Ja.
Aber schon, dass er da 50 Meter oben ist, wir können ihn nicht hören.
Ja, noch Erwins auch, weil
What had once been nothing more than a pipe dream was, against all odds, soon to be reality. Everyone wanted the Lord removed from power. They were angry and frustrated, and on several occasions had even seriously considered resorting to another revolt to make it happen. But no one had been able to turn those emotions into actions, because they all knew a revolt was destined to be quashed before it made any difference. That there was no hope to be found down that path, but an actual revolution, that was another story. Especially with someone poised to take the Lord's place on their side. They had a fighting chance, and they had no reason not to take it. As the fire in the eyes swelled to a blaze, mine seemed to sputter out, leaving behind a withered husk. I felt as though I was sitting in a theatre, watching on as the story unfolded before me. No, it didn't quite capture how I felt. I wasn't even watching it with my own eyes, merely listening quietly as someone recounted for me their heroic deeds. The fact that I was an indispensable part of this operation still hadn't fully sunk in.
I was indispensable.
And then the man, all I knew was that I wasn't completely powerless anymore. But while fury, passion, and hope for the future filled Gratian and the rest of the gang, a dark poisonous revulsion for God and fate streamed in to fill the hole left in me by the attack on the brothel. Preparations proceeded smoothly, with Gratian providing inside information and guidance.
Ginevra.
Huh?
Ginevra.
Huh?
Ginevra, nicht Gratian.
Oh, beide mit G, tut mir leid. As I had expected, there were a not insignificant number of nobles dissatisfied with the way Barnier ruled there. And they were constantly looking for a way to eradicate the cloud of pestilence hanging over the land. However, the Lord had eyes everywhere in the upper circuits, and he was especially mindful of who associated with whom and how often. Any signs of opposition were swiftly dealt with, and before they had a chance to pose any threat. So the nobility needed an outsider, someone the Lord wasn't on the lookout for, to step in and assert power. Ginevra arranged for several guards and attendants within the Lord's manor to betray him on the day of the revolution. They would open the doors for us from the inside, and we would storm the manor. Structurally, the plan was similar to the slave revolt, but the two major differences being my role and the Lord's death being our primary goal. As the day drew nearer, it was all anyone in the slums seemed to be talking about. Though we did our best to encourage everyone to stay quiet, So, not to alert a lot. It was impossible to keep the assignment contained, wie man auch hier bei meinen Reden redet. And it wasn't long before I was reached Maria's ears. She approached me, pale as a ghost, and attempted to talk me out of it.
Have you had enough danger for one life? Come on, forget about all this revolution stuff. We can build up a new brothel and just stay low for the rest of our days. Does that really sound so bad? You're the only friend I've got left, Jacopo.
She was practically begging, which she almost never did. While I sympathized with her, Maria's desperation did nothing to try my resolve. And before long, the day was finally upon us. Ja, Freunde, an der Stelle würde ich sagen, oh shit!
Hear me! Dann brauchen wir...
Ja, Revolution! An der Stelle würde ich sagen, beenden wir das jetzt bei dessen langen Abo da, Channel, passt euch die Kanal. Und ich, ja, wie schon Freunde und...
Rein.
Ciao.